Right. We're here, ladies and gentlemen. I just got thingied up there a little bit, so here we go. Hello, everyone. Right, podcast night today, and we'll talk about a few things as well. So yeah, it's podcast recording tonight. This could go an hour. This could go an hour and a half. I don't know. But I've got a lot of stuff to talk about. There's a lot of stuff that I want to talk about. So this could go an hour, like I said. This could go an hour and a half. I don't know. I really don't know. So, with all that, first of all, before we get into this podcast, I want to bring something to the attention, if you will. And I will probably mention this towards the end of the stream as well. I'm not happy because last week, and this happened before on the Gifted Sub, right? Which was on another channel, which has got fuck all to do with me. But this happened last week, okay? Spider-Man is on a Wednesday, as you know. It's going to be on a Wednesday again this week as well. I will be playing Spider-Man this Wednesday. Somebody came in last week and subscribed to my channel, or resubbed, okay? 2 days later, that person is telling me that she got unsubbed. And I didn't have nothing to do with it. So, she's telling me about it. So I went and looked onto my, on my little subscriber list. I know how to get my subscriber list, who subscribed to my channel. The person wasn't there. And there was full evidence, and I have the evidence, that she subscribed. Not only on my stream manager's list, but also on my videos as well, because I've got the stream up. Well, I highlighted the stream last week. So there's full evidence on who subscribed to my channel. And I'm not going to lie to you, I'm a little pissed off about it. I've already been in contact with Twitch support. They've told me if the person in question will get in contact. So hopefully the person has done it, because I've messaged her about it and everything. Hopefully the person has done it. But I'm not happy about that. And I know this might be a private thing or whatever, but if someone's coming into my subscriptions or coming into my channel subscribing to me and it's getting unsubbed for no reason, I want to know about it. I'm sorry. They're paying... Alright, it's tier 1. But, they're paying money to subscribe to my channel out of the goodness of their own will. Next minute, 2 days later, they're telling me it's getting unsubbed. And I've got nothing to do with it. Quite frankly, I don't even know if I know how to unsubscribe to a channel or how to get to unsub somebody. To be honest with you, I don't even know if that's a thing on here. I might be wrong. But yeah, I want to know about it. So hopefully that person has subscribed, or hopefully that person has got in contact. I don't know. To right the wrong, I have gifted the person the sub for the month. I've gifted the person for the sub for the month. So hopefully that person will get in touch. I've already messaged the person on the Discord and showed her the information and whatnot, so it's up to her what happens next. And yes, it is a she. So we'll see what happens. But I'd like to know. I hope the person does get in contact, and I'd like to know what the hell's going on and why that has happened. But, like I say, it hasn't happened to me, thank God. But we'll see what happens. So anyway, just wanted to bring that up before we get on board. So, ladies and gentlemen, you are about to witness here on this Twitch channel a recording of the podcast. This might get a little personal, but I'm going to get into the nitty gritty of it all. So, in 3, 2, 1. Hello, everyone. Bet you never thought you'd see this again, huh? Never thought in my wildest dreams I'd be doing this again. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is me. I'm back. And I'm going to make this announcement right now. The podcast is coming back. I don't know how yet I'm going to bring it back, but it's coming back. So I'm doing this little introduction now. Yes, the Wrestling Matters podcast is back. After a 3-4 year hiatus, I'm bringing it back. That's right. And in this podcast today, I'm going to talk about a few things. Also, I'm going to explain why it's been away. As well. So, hopefully you guys will stick around for that. Yeah. A lot has happened since I've been away. Let me tell you the concept of the new podcast that I'm going to bring back. It's going to be recordings. They're going to be on a Monday. Some might be behind, some might not be. I don't know. But the concept of this podcast that I'm bringing back, it's still the Wrestling Matters podcast, but the concept of it is if I've got anything to talk about, I'm going to put it in the podcast. So if I've got something to talk about that I want to talk about, wrestling-wise, I know the podcast has been around. It hasn't been officially back. It has been around, only on a part-time basis. But, yeah, the podcast is back, ladies and gentlemen. And like I said, the concept of it now is recordings. So it's going to be probably on a Monday. I may do a live stream once a month, preferably on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/gamesmatter_. So yeah, I don't know how I'm going to bring it back. It's probably going to be recordings, so there's going to be like recordings of the podcast on the Mondays. And like I said, the concept of it is just me giving you my humble opinions on what to do, on what I'm doing on the podcast, my humble opinions on the professional wrestling business. Right, this is where we get personal. The reason why it's been away. Well, first of all, I want to clarify it up. And many of you people, if you've seen this and you watch this now, know what went on previous times. There was some beef with certain parties. They were dealt with. But it had nothing to do with them. I was willing to go on besides that bullshit. Some jealous, idiotic morons who are now paying the price for it, by the way. Who are now paying the ultimate price for it. And, as the old saying, karma's a bitch. But it had nothing to do with that. 2017 was the last time I did my podcast. And it was the week of Independence Day. And I was ready to do a podcast there and then. I was going to do one on New Japan Pro Wrestling. And I believe it was Okada and Cody Rhodes for the New Japan Pro Wrestling World Championship, the IWGP title. And I was ready to go that day. I was ready to go on that day. I was ready to go, put a podcast in, whatever. I was ready to do that. But certain things that happened on Tuesday, July the 4th, prevented me from that. Which I lost my father, July 4th, 2017. And I made the announcement that I couldn't do the podcast anymore through my Facebook page and whatever. But I had a show ready to go, ready to record that day. But when the thing happened with my father, I took that format and just ripped it up. It was basically pretty much. And I couldn't do anything else after that. And the last thing on my mind was, during that period of time at least, was doing a podcast. The last thing on my mind. The only thing that kept me going during that duration was my gaming stuff that I do, the stream gaming stuff, and playing the games as well. It was pretty difficult to do that on the Tuesday night when it happened because, you know, I normally would play games, and it usually, relaxes me and whatever. But he had to do that on the Tuesday night when that happened. Because I'm going here, this is my bedroom that I'm in, and the toilet is across the other side there. It's pretty hard to do that when you're walking across and you're seeing your father's body. And I was so glad they came and picked him up that day. So yeah, that was the last thing on my mind, and then I decided to take a break from the podcast and step back. And like I said, the last thing on my mind at that period of time was to do a podcast. Fast forward a year later, I was ready to come back. And I'll admit it right now, I was ready to come back. Say about mid-2018, I was putting plans in place to come back. I was putting the plans in place. Around about September, October time, the plan started coming into place, and I was thinking of what direction to go and where to go and how to, bring it all back and everything. And then I couldn't do it because of other stuff that was happening. But I was putting the plan into place to come back. Maybe come back in the new year. Cheers, Mario. I was putting the plan into place to come back into the new year, maybe 2019. But I was putting all that plans into place and thinking, how can I do this? Rattling my brain and everything. And then the stuff happened at Christmas. Yeah. Tragedy struck again at Christmas. And bad enough losing my father the way I did. I lost my father 2017, July 4th. Christmas 2018, I lost my cousin due to epilepsy. Yes. I was at the Borough match working the Aston Villa game, which we lost. And while I was at the Borough match, a tragedy struck. And I didn't get word until the next day. And it just all went downhill from there, basically. And I just couldn't, like I say, I just couldn't bring it back if I tried. So that was the reason why I've been away. I've been thinking, and I've been tempting to come back and everything. I just didn't know how to do it and what direction I needed to go to do it, and how I would bring it back. Because I'm bringing it back, and there's going to be recordings on the Wrestling Matters channel. And I'm not going to worry about stupid audio sites like SoundCloud or pointless audio sites. If you're going to see this podcast, if you want to see the Wrestling Matters podcast, you will see it each and every Monday, probably. I haven't worked that out yet. On the YouTube channel, the Wrestling Matters YouTube channel. It's going to be on the Facebook too. And it'll be on the Twitch channel, as probably uploads on the Twitch channel. There will be a stream, preferably once a month. Not all the time, but it might be a stream once a month, i.e. as I'm doing right now. So there might be a stream once a month-ish, depending on how things go and everything like that. But if you want to see the Wrestling Matters podcast, Wrestling Matters channel is where you're going to see it on YouTube. The Wrestling Matters channel. Anthony Walker Wrestling Matters channel, whatever it's called. On there, I haven't touched it in a while, so yeah, I'm going to be bringing it on there as well. So I might even do a live stream on there as well. I don't know. Like I say, I haven't quite figured out the concept yet. I know 80% in my mind what I want to do. Not 100% yet. So I'm still working on that. That's why I'm doing this now, to get it out the way as well. So yeah, hopefully you guys will stick around. It's going to be back on Mondays. Like I said, it's going to be back for Mondays. So it's a Monday thing. I haven't quite figured out the time yet in terms of what I'm going to upload it and whatnot. So we'll see. Like I said, we'll see what happens. Like I say, everything is 80% sure. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do yet, but I'll let you know. So, like I say, follow me on the social medias and also the WM podcast. So I'll make the announcement as well. Like I say, I haven't quite figured out what I'm going to do yet. And like I say, I'm a little busy at the moment, IRL, with my insurance and everything. I'm going to sort that out. So hopefully things will sort out soon, ASAP. So, moving on to important matters, let's talk wrestling, because that's what we do on here. Right. Adam Cole. Now, since I've been away, there's been a lot of stuff that's happened. This is recent news, ladies and gentlemen, what you're about to see. There's talks about WWE making Adam Cole a babyface in NXT. Him and Kyle O'Reilly were the names brought up. Now, take this with a pinch of salt, but it seems that I wouldn't just say Kyle O'Reilly or Adam Cole in general. It might have just seen the Undisputed Era in general, pretty much, because these two are still part of the Undisputed Era, and there hasn't been no rumours of the Undisputed Era splitting up. With Adam Cole with the Pat McAfee fight that he had, that NFL player as well. The match he had with Balor when he too sweeted him after the match when Balor won the NXT title. It seems that they're going down that road with him, making him the biggest babyface probably in the company. Now, many of you people are probably thinking to yourself, is that a good idea? Honestly, Adam Cole, babyface or heel, he'll probably knock it out the park. He will. He'll probably knock it out the park because he's that good. I mean, I've been watching Adam Cole since before WWE, before he even joined NXT. He was in New Japan as Bullet Club. His main state and his main stamp of the professional wrestling business in general was him in Ring of Honor when he was a 3-time world champion. And to my knowledge, I don't know, I haven't checked out Ring of Honor for a while, quite frankly, but to my knowledge, he's the only 3-time Ring of Honor world champion as well. So, yeah, I believe that he could be the biggest babyface on there. What they're going to do with him in the Undisputed Era, there's all this talk about the Undisputed Era splitting up and this conflict between them. So basically, it's Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly taking on Roderick Strong and Bobby Fish, pretty much. I don't see that happening. I say keep them together, pretend them baby faces. And have all these guys come in, whoever they are, have all these guys come in, whoever they are, could I do this? Have all the guys come in, like the bad guys, all these new guys come in, and have them look to make a name for themselves, but they have to go through the Undisputed Era to do it, kind of deal. That's the way I'd book them. Have them go through the Undisputed Era to do it, because, like it or not, the Undisputed Era are pretty much the main stables of NXT. Without a doubt. Without a doubt. They are the main stables of NXT. And, well, before Balor came back, I mean, it's tremendous to see Balor being the NXT champion, first of all, and getting his rightful due. Because he didn't get it on Raw. Don't think he was on SmackDown either. But he did make an appearance on SmackDown. But his main stable was on Raw, and he wasn't getting shit on there. He wasn't getting nothing on there. So yeah, it's good to see that happening. And with Adam Cole, I would imagine there would be more rap matches between Adam Cole and Finn Balor at some point. And Adam Cole probably want to be the NXT champion. I mean, the match between Balor and Kyle O'Reilly at TakeOver stole the show for me. It was a classic. And we knew it would be. But it was an instant classic. There's no question about that. I believe, though, I truly, truly, truly believe that Adam Cole would be a top babyface. Top heel. He's already established himself as a top heel, but as a babyface, I think it'd work. I don't think he's ever been babyface in the other companies. Maybe towards the beginning of his tenure in Ring of Honor, if I remember correctly. And then when he turned heel, it was off to the races, him being probably the biggest heel in Ring of Honor. So, yeah, I think it'll work out nonetheless. Where they go with it, I don't know. It was a blooming good thing that the what I call it was not there in the draft, which I'm going to get to in a second. The NXT went in the draft. Quite frankly, it was just Raw and SmackDown. I don't think they got any NXT talent in there. It was just mainly from Raw and SmackDown, which was a good thing, quite frankly. Leave NXT alone, quite frankly, in my opinion. But yeah, we'll move on to... Yeah, but I think it'll be a hit nonetheless. We'll move on to it now, if I can find it. No. There we go. Because I've got part 1 of the draft results. The other ones, as I'm doing this now, will be out tonight. There's a lot of rumours flying around, which I'm going to get to in a minute as well. But let me go through the first round of the drafts, night 1 of the draft results, which took place on SmackDown this past week. Just let me get my, what I call it up, just so people don't come in. Okay. Night 1 of the draft. So, Roman Reigns staying on SmackDown. Drew McIntyre stays on Raw. Oscar stays on Raw. And the Hurt Business stay on Raw. All collective. All 4 of them, I believe. As well. But the main issue, or the main talking point of that round 1, was Seth Rollins going to SmackDown. Now, he thought he was going to be away from the Rey Mysterio Dominic beef and everything like that. I don't think so. Well, at least that's what WWE thought. But yeah, I'm glad Raw's kept their championships. I'm glad Raw's kept their titles. Raw and SmackDown have kept their championships, because if Roman went to Raw, he would have took the Universal Championship with him, and probably Paul Heyman. And if Drew went to SmackDown, he would have took the WWE title with him. So, yeah, I'm glad about that. I'm definitely glad about that. That they've kept both the championships, because I think, even though there's all this talk about Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock's feud back in the day and everything, and Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre being compared to Austin and Rock by Triple H. What the hell he was smoking that day, I don't know. But anyway, I don't know what he was smoking that day. You can't compare them two. There's no comparison to them two. But anyway, but they should be the main stables of both brands, Roman and Drew McIntyre. I'm shocked that Seth went to SmackDown. I don't know what the hell is going to happen with him, but he needs to break away from this Mysterio stuff as well. And to top it all off, not only did Rey Mysterio and Dominic go to SmackDown, which I'll get to in a second, Buddy Murphy ended up going to SmackDown too. So it just gets from bad to worse, pretty much. But anyway, that was round 1. I'm interested to see what the Hurt Business do on Raw. Probably renew their rivalry with Retribution as well. Asuka is the women's champion. She's the main stable at the moment on the Raw, as far as the Raw women's title goes. Where will that leave Becky when she eventually comes back? I don't know. Will Becky even jump to SmackDown? Who knows? But yeah, that's the big main stable of that. Round 2, it sees Bianca Belair going to SmackDown, which, to be honest with you, is a perfect move for her. And Naomi goes to Raw, I'm guessing because of that. So Naomi's now on Raw, Bianca Belair on SmackDown, Sasha Banks stays on SmackDown, or is now stable on SmackDown, and that's because of her beef with Bayley. Even though the women's tag team titles are on Raw, SmackDown, and NXT to begin with, Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax stay on Raw. So when they're done, they'll be still on Raw. They stay on Raw. But the main talking point of round 2 was AJ Styles. AJ Styles has now gone back to Raw. And the main reason why AJ Styles has gone back to Raw is not because of what he said on SmackDown show, not because of what he said on the SmackDown show when he sent that promo in saying, "Oh, I should have been number 1 draft pick for SmackDown, this, and this, I'm offended." No, AJ. The number 1 reason you went back to Monday Night Raw is simple. Paul Heyman. It's that simple. Paul Heyman. Okay? Thank you, Whisper. Paul Heyman. That's the one reason you went back to SmackDown. Oh, you went back to Raw, sorry. Paul Heyman. It's as simple as that. So, yeah. Paul Heyman. Because as you know, Paul Heyman is now managing Roman Reigns. At least until Brock Lesnar comes back, at least. Whenever that will be, I don't know. But, yeah. That is the main reason why. It's because of Paul Heyman. Because there's beef between AJ Styles and Paul Heyman. One reason why is because AJ blames Heyman when he was executive director of Raw. AJ, in a way, blames Heyman for not doing anything to keep Gallows and Anderson on the Raw roster. Or in WWE in general. So, yeah, and there's beef with them, and, you know, AJ's called him a lie, and hell, even Gallows and Anderson called him a lie. And that's why Gallows and Anderson will probably beg AJ to come back to Impact Wrestling, blah, 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 blah. So, yeah. So that's the reason why AJ is on Raw. Because of Heyman. If Roman Reigns got drafted to Raw and Drew McIntyre got drafted to SmackDown, if Roman got drafted to Raw, you would have took Heyman with him, guaranteed AJ would have stayed on SmackDown. Guaranteed AJ would have stayed on SmackDown. Period. Absolute 100% on that one. Guaranteed AJ would have stayed on SmackDown. Number 3, like I said, I mentioned earlier on, Rey Mysterio and Dominic are now on SmackDown as well. Mandy Rose is staying on Raw, so is Ricochet, but Miz and Morrison are now going to Raw, which I find a little interesting, I must admit, to see where they go, or how they do on Raw. And Jey Uso stays on SmackDown and continues his beef with his cousin, leading into the Hell in a Cell match that they've got, this I Quit Hell in a Cell match they've got coming up at the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view as well, which should be a little interesting, I'm not going to lie. But the talking point of night 1 in respects of the draft on SmackDown, the talking point was in round 4, the main talking point. There were talking points, but the 100% main talking point of SmackDown happened in round 4. Otis, Mr. Money in the Bank, is still on SmackDown. His tag team partner got drafted to Raw, unfortunately. So Mr. Otis might have to go in alone. Dana Brooke stays on Raw. Angel Garza stays on Raw. But this was the talking point, ladies and gentlemen. Big E Langston stays on SmackDown. Kofi and Xavier Woods go to Raw. Now, this was stupid for me. Not because New Day split up. That was on the cards. This was stupid in a way because Kofi and Xavier Woods were in a tag team match against Nakamura and Cesaro, and they put the World Tag Team titles, the SmackDown Tag Team titles, on them. You know, they put the SmackDown Tag Team Championships on them, which I found ridiculous, quite frankly. If I'm being honest with you. So now, well, it was the New Day, now 7-time World Tag Team Champions, but there's no more New Day because Big E stays on SmackDown. Kofi and Xavier go to Raw with the SmackDown Tag Team titles. So I assuming tonight then, if that's the case, Street Profits go to SmackDown. But I'm thinking, are they going to combine the tag team titles together and have a undisputed tag team championship match tonight on Raw? Because there was talk about bringing both titles together for an undisputed tag team championships to have on both shows. So there was talk about that, so whether that's the case or not. Because it's going to look stupid now that the SmackDown tag team titles are on the Raw brand, and the Raw tag team titles will probably end up on the SmackDown brand. Yeah, it's not going to look good on that respect. So my guess is there's going to be an undisputed tag team championship made tonight. So I'm guessing tonight we'll see, off the top of my head, and don't hold me to this, Kofi and Xavier Woods taking on Street Profits. The winner become undisputed tag team champions and combine the championships together. That's the only thing I can think of. And no doubt, probably the Street Profits will probably end up winning that. And then the Street Profits will get drafted to SmackDown. They still become the tag team champions. They become the undisputed tag team champions. They're out on both shows until some team beats them, and then they stay on SmackDown. That's the only way I can think of that. In that respect. But, yeah, it's weird. It is very, very weird that is happening, or that happened. As for Big E Langston, well, this is his time to shine as a singles competitor. Because there's all this talk about him having a singles push. So now he's got to do this alone. He's got to do this without his boys. So I'm guessing now, all this push and all this talk about him going to... WrestleMania to face the Universal Champion, I believe, on SmackDown. Because let's talk about him winning, or him going to WrestleMania to face the Universal Champion. Who will that be? I don't know. Probably Roman. So yeah, this is his time to shine, pretty much, as well. Now, on to tonight, because part 2, as I'm doing this, ladies and gentlemen, is tonight on Raw, the draft. Part 2 of the draft is tonight, and I haven't got a Scooby-Doo what's going to go down, but I've heard a rumor that I don't like, quite frankly. There is talk, and Cultaholic have confirmed this, apparently, but it has been reported by Cultaholic that Eva Marie's returning tonight. Or Eva Marie is returning to WWE. Many people believe it's tonight. So, I don't know why. Hopefully it's a new and improved Eva Marie than the last time she was in WWE. Hopefully. But, yeah, I'm not quite happy about that, quite frankly. So, I'm hoping that's not the case, but that's what I've heard tonight. In regards to the draft. Hopefully that's not the case. Please God tell me that's not the case. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Also this week as well, the what I call it match, the AEW anniversary shows this week as well. That should be good to watch. I think all the titles are on the line this week. Tag titles are on the line. Uh, TNT Championships on the line, the women's title, and the World Championship as well, with Moxley defending against Lance Archer. That is this week. So, I'm seeing if there's anything else. So, I've just come up with something here. The initial plans for... Okay. Yeah, no, nobody needs to know about that. The original plans for what I call it. The original plans. Well, it just says here the original plans were meant to be for the Uso Roman Reigns was them to have one match, but it was so well received that WWE decided to keep it going. So. And I think the plan was to have The Fiend take over after that one match they had, which was the Clash of Champions match. But it seems that it was well received, so they've kept it going, which is fair enough, pretty much. But it was only meant to be one match. But like I say, if things are getting over, guys, that's the whole thing in life, ladies and gentlemen. If things are getting over, if you try something out and it gets over, why not keep it going? You know, why not keep it going? Apparently, a lot of wrestlers, mainly AEW wrestlers, Jim Ross, Arn Anderson, and I think Jericho's at a pop as well. I've been getting on Jim Cornette's case because all Jim Cornette has done, and look, I like Jim Cornette beyond belief, because most of the stuff he says is true. 99% of it, or at least 80% of it, whatever he says is true. But as far as what I call it is concerned, AEW is concerned, he's criticised them for many things, many stupid stuff and whatnot. And I think it's getting to the point right now where everybody's sick of it in AEW, quite frankly. And everybody's entitled to their opinions, they get it, but I think everybody now is getting really, really sick of it. Is sick and tired of it, quite frankly. That's why that's the way it is in that respect, at least. I mean, I'd be sick of it. Somebody keeps on bashing my company without knowing, the full facts and whatnot, and and it's like, seriously, my guy, come on. At least say something positive about it. At least say something positive about it. But Jim Cornette has not found anything positive about AEW. Maybe a few things here and there, but most of his criticism of AEW is not good, from what I've seen. So, yeah, it's pretty much that in that respects. But, yeah, it is what it is at the end of the day. I mean, I like AEW. I like the direction they're going. And the main thing I like about AEW, it's not PG as well. So, they've got that going for them at least. I don't like... I mean, AEW's better than Raw and SmackDown. Yes, NXT's better than Raw and SmackDown as well. That's why this NXT AEW thing, and plus it's on a Wednesday night, even though there's rumours about that NXT may be moving, or Triple H is trying to get it moved from Wednesday nights, apparently. I don't know. That's all I've heard. But at the end of the day, I prefer NXT and AEW to Raw and SmackDown. Although Raw and SmackDown, it's 50-50 with Raw and SmackDown, I think. Definitely 50-50 with Raw and SmackDown at the moment. Hopefully this draft will change everything, quite frankly. Hopefully this draft will change everything. and we'll see how it goes from there in that respect. But yeah, ladies and gents, that's about it for this recording of the podcast. As well, or this episode of the podcast, or whatever you want to call it. Thanks to everybody who's watched. If you're watching this on the YouTube channel, like, share, and subscribe as well, because there'll be plenty more of this. And look out for the podcast information down the road as well. Look out for that podcast information down the road as well, because I'll be, like I say, I'm bringing back the podcast. I'm bringing it back. I'm just 80% on the concept yet, so I'm doing this now to get it over with, and then at least it's set the bar there, really. I might do one once a month on here. I don't know. I might just do recordings on the channel, and if I feel like I might do one on here. I don't know. We'll see what happens, yeah. But it's mainly going to be recordings on the channel. So if you want to see the podcast, the recordings will be up here on the YouTube, on the Twitch channel as well. Will be up on the Twitch channel, twitch.tv/gamesmatter_. They'll be up on the Twitch channel as well. So if you want to see them, they might be up. They'll be up as uploads. I'll publish them and whatnot so you can see them. And not only that, they'll be up as probably reruns down the road as well. So be sure to look out for that as well. I might have a podcast night as well. So we'll see what happens in that respect. But yeah. Like I say, it's a short podcast. It's a short night tonight, guys. I wanted to do this podcast and get it out the way. For those of you on Twitter, for those of you on the YouTube channel watching this, thank you, and I'll see you next time. And watching this on Facebook as well, thank you. And for those on the Twitch channel, thanks to everybody who has dropped in, lurked, and whatnot. I will be back tomorrow with normal schedule. It is GMW tomorrow. I will be back with that tomorrow. So, as well. So. Look out for that on the channel. It'll be back normal time. Please, 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 please buy me some time. With all your new talent and everything that's coming up as well, guys, please give me some time to work that out. I haven't quite worked that out yet. But yeah, I will be back tomorrow with GMW. It's GMW tomorrow. GMW tomorrow, Spider-Man Thursday, Spider-Man Wednesday, GMW Thursday, and I might take a day off on Friday. I don't know. I'm thinking of doing that again on Friday. I might take a day off, though. We'll see what happens. Because I am tempted to go and test out Facebook as well. I want to test Facebook out. I want to make a day for myself that I can just test Facebook out as well. I am tempted to test Facebook out as well. And I might be doing some other stuff as well with the GMW show tomorrow as well. Like recording it, like streaming it here, streaming it on YouTube at the same time, because I've got a restream service as well. Stream it here, stream it on the YouTube channel, and then private the YouTube version, and then put it up the next day. So you stream it here, stream it on the YouTube channel, and then YouTube won't get the replay until the next day. That's what I'm thinking of doing. So just to be on the safe side, you know, with all that. So YouTube won't get that until the next day. Kind of deal. I might test it out tomorrow. I might test it out Thursday. We'll see what happens. See what I feel like. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna go and do some stuff and everything because I've got some stuff to do. Like I say, I've got my insurance to sort out. I need to sort that out. I will see you tomorrow for GMW here on the Twitch channel. Thank you all and good night.